Objectively, old Nadia was seemingly a bit lost, very doubtful, lots of love to give, but just riddled with hard emotion and still a lot of frustration. I was feeling lost, young, wasn't ready to step into being a woman. I used to just feel very chaotic in my mind, unfocused, and just distracted easily, definitely by my thoughts. But now I feel like I'm a lot more present, focus is better, and with that, my day just feels less crazy, more organised. The program gave me a lot more confidence, but also the realization that everything is a choice, even every thought. Your reality thus becomes a choice, and to decide to use the tools and not forget them is also a choice. So you can come out of the program not having learned anything. It teaches you the fact that you do have this power, and if you absorb that, you can use that power, you can use that choice in your real life. Things are definitely connected in so many ways, in ways that you can't even consciously think about.
You're not alone. You're not alone. Everybody is going through their own version of the same thing. And once we realize just how connected we are, just how alike we are, just how your fears and my fears are the same thing, just from your perspective and my perspective, I believe we really connect, because I can see myself in you and you can see yourself in me. So 100% we're all very much connected.
There's different kinds of connection. It's not a static thing for me. Connection is like a recognition of someone, like of something in somebody. So there's an empathetic connection that I can have with a person where I can recognize the emotion or the story or something about what you're expressing to me. I can recognize that in myself. But there's also shared experience. We're connecting through a shared experience. That could be having a meal with somebody and having a chat and the dialogue and the back and forth that we're sharing between us. So there's a moment, so we can connect through moments.
One of the strongest ways, one of the biggest ways that the program helps create connections, it allows you to see where you're standing in your own way. These little things, they could just be little words, how you project the challenges that you're facing onto other people or onto other circumstances. And it's often this perspective, this slight change of perspective that enables you to actually connect with yourself and other people. The program provides so many opportunities from various different angles, whether it's in ceremony or outside ceremony in a group dynamic where you're listening and showing up to listen to other people.
It's designed in mind to help you pinpoint where a lot of these belief structures were created that underpin whatever's presenting in one's life. And so we try and be very specific and help you find those moments. And we try to help to neutralize those moments to give you back the power And what happens is, the real change that happens is once these moments and once all of these significant events start to become neutralized and lowered, a more authentic version of yourself starts to come up naturally.
Change can seem scary because it's outside of this known little reality that you've created based upon your past. So change can seem scary, but it's something that we all desire.
I think change is the nature of reality, of life. I think life is a dynamic, so change is inevitable.
But the idea of going into something different can seem scary. We get attached to this permanent stillness of things. Change it's evolving, it's part of everything. There's nothing in nature, there's nothing around us that is still.
I think when something stops evolving, it starts dying.
I feel very grateful, actually. Just every day, every moment, I feel a lot more gratitude just for everything that I have. My perception and awareness of just everything and understanding of everything just seems a lot more detailed and a lot more complete. And I don't have to drown in the negative like I feel like I used to. My intuition is a lot stronger because I don't have to battle with as much doubt and noise and other people's opinions. I know that now I can make a decision or a choice or make a change in my life and not assign so much value to it. I genuinely believe there's no wrong change or wrong choice, because with everything that does change, there is good and bad. You will always gain something. Well, I didn't see that before. I didn't see that.
Our program is broken down into 3 phases. We have preparation, immersion, and integration.
Preparation is phase 1 of the complete program. And this is all about preparation. So how do we prepare for such a crazy experience?
We work with each and every person that comes through, my brother and I, Paul. We guide people through a self-exploration with me into all of the mental and emotional barriers, charges that one has, where they've created a conscious and unconscious psychological split, which has created a very polarized perceptual awareness around a situation, which is then stored into the subconscious mind and is working on you through impulses toward or instincts away. And that is taking the power away from the individual. So I work to help people identify these things and start the process of unraveling these events sober and teaching you how to do this for yourself. My brother, he will focus on the physical.
I focus on the body, preparing you physically to have the most, you could say, balanced and safe and effective vehicle in order to embody fully the experience. One of my main objectives is to provide you with a very practical way of how to look at health and how to balance health, so that you, beyond the ceremony, beyond the retreat, have a lens to see yourself and to see health through, and then you can make practical decisions. So we make and we set values and intentions and practices around this so that you can start the process of change.
We're trying to fine-tune people's awareness and their physicality before they get in there. We're also trying to give tools and resources to help navigate the experience before you arrive.
The immersion is where we get to take all the tools that me and my brother have taken you through. We get to apply these.
A lot of people ask me why we even go to Brazil. Why don't we just import the helpers to whatever main country there is and just conduct a ceremony anywhere? And part of the reason is that the traditions we are affiliated with, the Yawanawa and the Uniquin, they're 2 tribes from the Amazon in Acre, and our head facilitator Ivan and his pajé or mentor is the chief of the Uniquin. And so the traditions that are being transmitted through the ceremony and within that container are affiliated with these 2 tribes, and they're from Brazil. And we want to take people closer to the source, because the further away, in my experience, people get from the source of the medicine, whatever it is, the more diluted it tends to be. So we want people to come here to have an authentic experience with these medicines close to the traditions. There's also a pilgrimage. It's getting people outside and away from all of their triggers and all of their life and everything like that, so they can immerse.
Now, the immersion itself goes for 1 week, and we do 4 ayahuasca ceremonies, and we have a rest between each ceremony.
Your food is all taken care of. You've got clean private accommodation. You've got experienced helpers that will help you in the space. You've got Paul and myself that will help you in between ceremonies. You have all of the resources necessary to be able to really accelerate growth and evolution.
We do 2 Hape circles. Hape is a medicine on its own, a very, very powerful medicine. In the circles, we actually use it as more of a tool of connection to bring ourselves back into our body and to really help express ourselves, to really get out of our heads, get in the room, and to share. One of the other medicines that we do is a Temescal. The Temescal isn't a psychedelic experience. It's more of a grounding experience. You literally connect with the ground. You use the mud to cool the body down in the heat. It's also a way for you to start to chant and to start to use your voice. Whereas in ceremony, it's more of an internal, close your eyes and go within. Whereas in the Temescal, we're actually using the group dynamic, using the group energy, using the earth. We're singing, we're chanting, we're coming together to really move through the experience. The last medicine that we use on the retreat is psilocybin mushrooms. And we use this actually as a way to connect with nature. Eyes open ceremony. For the ayahuasca ceremonies, as I mentioned, our eyes closed, where we go internal. With the mushrooms and the mushroom experience, we actually create the other contrast, and we invite you to open your eyes and to connect with everything that's happening around you. And these 2 dynamics fit perfectly.
And when we're in there, what we've created is a container. Ultimately, it's a container for you to be able to now see all the different parts of yourself that you're unaware of and have them reflected to you. And that is very, very challenging for anyone to go through. But it's also fulfilling and rewarding. And it can also be the most beautiful, heart-opening, spectacular experience that you'll have. But you're going to get both. The medicine is not a requirement. It's not needed for any of this change. It's just an accelerator. It can help you change by identifying where change needs to take place, to deal with these things as they come up in daily life, and creating a container where you can accelerate all of this and you can face all of these things in one go, and then be supported at the end to make sure that these changes are permanent and ingrained in practices that you can do in your life and can be integrated into your life.
Integration is the final piece of the puzzle. It's the opportunity that you have to really embody everything that you experienced.
So you've gone on this massive journey. Now you're coming back to your old world as a different person, as somebody who's been upgraded. You've done all these things. So it's how you integrate all of this wisdom into your life. No one gets anything from the experience if it's not integrated. I can't stress the importance of that enough. The integration is what makes the shift.
Me and my brother, we really go in and start to unravel everything that you wrote down and create a path, create practices, create patterns, routines to really embody, to feel. And then through time, through continual practice, you start to not even notice the shift because it just happens naturally.
So with it not just being about the ceremonies, and what you don't really realize is that you're given some lessons and tools from your ceremonies, but speaking about what you saw or felt, then having opportunity to use what you saw or felt, just help integrate those lessons. Like the seeds were more sown. I didn't realize at the time that's what it was doing because I had no experience with ayahuasca. But that is, now I see as the purpose is just to, okay, you've learned something. If you use it straight away and quickly, that's when you can absorb it most. What I realize now is that a ceremony can be just like a very vivid dream. And if you do nothing with it, it just ends up being a dream you forget. And you need to use it. You need to integrate it. You need to write it down and absorb it. If you're wanting to grow as a person, become a better person, and become, I guess, or work towards the best version of yourself, then just putting in this work is so worth it.
The goal of the Integrated Human Program is to create an internal shift that allows you to change the perspective that you have on your life. This opens the door into much more meaningful connections and a better version of yourself.